Lisa and I began attending Northside in 1992, 93. We were actually still students in college at the University of South Carolina before we were even married. We knew that 2019 was going to be a little different. Our son Hagen had had some challenges. He had had some injuries to his legs, and we had two orthopedic surgeries scheduled for early 2019. So we knew that was on the horizon. But I was unexpectedly diagnosed with a very rare condition with my esophagus and had to have surgery. We were really looking forward to summer 2019 and just having a kind of a real boring, uneventful summer.
I remember vividly one day in early June, we were out for a walk, and I was telling Mark that I wouldn't have traded all the craziness that had happened that year, because I felt like God had taught me so much about how He was with me just in every little moment. Then about 2 weeks later, I had a mammogram, my usual one, but I got a call back, which turned into a biopsy, and then a breast cancer diagnosis. So my initial reaction, I think in the car on the way home to Mark, was, I just don't want to deal with something else right now. I'm tired. I don't think I can deal with this. But the cool thing is that God showed up even in that, and the very next morning I was having my coffee and opened my email, and there at the very top of the email page was this verse, and it was Psalm 139:10, and it says, "Even there," those words in such bold, "Even there, your hand will guide me, and your right hand will hold me fast." And I just knew in that moment that God was saying to me that, yeah, you just said, I've been with you, and now I'm going to be with you even there.
So my initial reaction to the diagnosis really was why us, God? I mean, we attend church, we serve, we give, we do all the right things, and then you kind of say, God, why would you put us through something like this?
Even in the middle of the hard parts, that on a daily basis, I would wake up on days when I thought, I don't think I can get out of bed to make it to school, that God would be right there with me.
So we're reading a book by David Groeschel, and there's a great quote from that book, and he says this. He says, "What if we embrace the truth that problems can make us stronger, that trials can strengthen our faith, that hurting can make us more compassionate for the plight of others, and that suffering can draw us closer to Christ?"
One of the many unexpected blessings from our journey, and really was just the ability for me to share my faith in a lot of different places that I had never been before, just to share about how Jesus had been there for me.
So we're okay. I mean, we're healthy. Everybody's prognosis is good. But our story isn't that God made everything okay physically. That's not our theology. Our story is that it's okay eternally. That through our relationship with Jesus, even though we have dealt with and have experienced some difficult and challenging times, that we or anybody else can have joy in spite of the challenges. We've also learned the freedom in living with open hands as opposed to closed fists, rather than holding on to things that we thought were important, willing to let go and let God do with our lives as He would. We're thankful. We really are thankful that God has allowed us to endure some challenging times, even to experience some unknowns, so that we can, as a family, better understand His grace and mercy, and to be reminded and remember that whatever we face, that God is, as Psalm 139 says, even there.